Justice for Mwita.
Justice for Mwita.
Stop intimidating journalists.
One of the most prominent journalists in Mombasa was detained by the DCI, and he was detained at Central. So we got information as people who practice and also who do the human rights work. We sought information and we got that he was working on a story that touched on Benzemba, the Member of Parliament from Kisauni, and for that reason he was detained. To start with, Mr. Peter has been very obedient to authority. Initially, he was invited by the DCI on 30th. He presented himself in time and he was told to go back home. And he went back home because apparently he went there at around 5 p.m. and presented himself again the next day, that is on the 31st. And at around 10. So he was booked at Central at 13:50. He has been in custody since then to date. Today, he was presented before court number 5, but because of his work, he knows a lot of judiciary staff, and the judicial officer steps aside, recused herself on the basis that they had known each other. And so the matter was taken up by the chief magistrate who was present, and the DCI sought for 7 days to detain him to get more information. And they have been accorded 5 days, including weekends. So we expect that Peter should be released on Wednesday next week, because the court has clarified that those days includes weekends. However, we want to say this as people who practice in this field, that we have seen continuously the state being too hard on people who are just practicing their profession. The other day, it was Chacha, the advocate, who was hauled from Mombasa to Nairobi, and he stayed there in custody for almost 20 days. He was released. There was no information that was received or further information on that investigation that was gotten by the state. In fact, they now wanted more days, but the court said that he could not be kept beyond those days. Now we have seen a gentleman who is doing investigative journalism on a matter that has been a problem to people of Mombasa.
Yes.
Us as civil society organizations, we have always called out the state for shooting these young boys and girls. And we've said that don't shoot them. Look at who is behind them, who is financing, who is the big figure behind them.
Yes.
Now, when a journalist is doing that sort of work, he's being hauled in cells of police. We think the gentleman is being intimidated.
Yes.
And that intimidation must stop. We must look at the root cause of what is called violent extremism in Mombasa.
Yes.
Who is behind it? That is the person we always want to see. And I want to talk to colleagues, speak out.
Yes.
Go and dig what is the problem with gang groups in Mombasa. That if somebody gets to that limit, he has to stay in custody. And truth is like pregnancy. It is going to come out and we will call you out. And if we call you out, we will even call upon the people of Mombasa that if there is a politician, if there is any politician that is related to any gang group, and there is evidence to that effect, apart from the official complaint that we will put to the state, we will campaign against you and name and shame you.
Yes.
You will not win in 2027.
Yes.
And for that reason, I want to request the state. I think this gentleman requires protection. He requires protection from the state so that at some point, truth should come out about violent extremism and these gang groups in Mombasa. I will let Hussein say something.
Coordinator Media Council of Kenya. Today we've been here in solidarity with our colleague Peter Maseke. Unfortunately, the courts have decided to detain him for a few more days as the police are claiming they need to conduct more investigations. As Media Council of Kenya, one thing is clear for us: we have to protect media freedom. Maseke is not a flight risk, so he is even known by the other magistrate who cast herself from the case. So there is no way he could escape from the country or even the county. So a bail was the most appropriate way to go for Maseke, because he has a family, he has children, he has responsibilities. He also has his media job to undertake. And then again, we have the media code of conduct for the practice of journalists. It guides journalists like Maseke and others on how to report. This was a raw copy. It was not a published story already. He was seeking more facts from the authorities. So that is what he's being incriminated against. But we are hoping for justice at the end of it all. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a very sad afternoon for me, and I feel so bad. I think what the nation, or maybe the police, normally call people to do is to go ahead and help them with any information, regardless on what has happened in a community or in a particular area. And sometimes they go to the extra mile of asking the individual, if you give us this information, there's a word for you. So my husband, who is now Peter Mwita, I'm wondering what is the problem here, because he's just trying to help the community, the society, and the Kenya to improve our life and make Kenya be a good Kenya. But now it's quite unfortunate that when he's trying to do his work, at the end of the day, things are not working. The government or maybe the police, they're doing the opposite. So I'm wondering why he needs to go to that extra mile, or maybe the media people. As far as I know, we need to support the families. Him is having a family, is taking care of, and right now even there's a baby who's unwell, and next week is an opening day for schools. So I'm wondering what next. If you continue detaining him, doing the right thing. He never killed anyone, he never do something wrong, but he was just trying to protect our society, our Mombasa. So this one is actually making somebody feel low. Like somebody like me, I'm really high-tempered. I might feel like there's no need for you to work, because at the end of the day, you are trying your level best. You are trying to improve the Kenya, but at the end of the day, you are being detained. Why? So I really feel bad, and I'm really feeling sorry for him, and also concerns about his health. I think the next move, I don't know, because if his life deteriorates, as much as I know what he suffers from, somebody cannot publish what he's going through in life, but I know as a wife what he's going through. So I'm like, what next? Will you pay for the bills? Will you treat him? What will happen in the next few days to come? So I'm so much scared, and I'm so much worried. I'm not myself.
Tumeanza mwaka kwa masikitiko makubwa kuona kwamba vitengo vya wanahabari vinatishiwa na vinazuiliwa kutekeleza kazi yao. Tunataka tuseme hivi kwamba swala la uhalifu hapa Mombasa hatutalinyamazia. Haya magengi ambayo yanaendelea kuhatarisha maisha ya watu wa Mombasa, kuhatarisha maisha ya Wakenya kwa jumla, tutayavalia njuga, na wale wote ambao wanaunga mkono na kufadhili haya magengi, tunawaambia siku zenu ni za kuhesabika. Ikiwa wewe ni mwanasiasa, ikiwa wewe ni prosecutor, ikiwa wewe ni polisi ambaye unasaidia haya magengi ya uhalifu, basi sisi tunakuambia leo hii tunatangaza vita na wewe pia, kwa sababu hatutaki uhalifu hapa Mombasa. Kuna sababu kwa nini Mombasa leo hii ndiyo kaunti iliyo na magengi mengi kabisa katika nchi nzima hii ya Kenya. Kuna sababu. Na pale wanahabari wanajaribu kufanya uchunguzi, wanajaribu kutoa habari, wao ndio wanachukuliwa, kutishiwa maisha. Na kama kesi hii ya Patrick ya Mwita, anachukuliwa ni kama yeye ni gaidi. Ati serikali inakuja mahakamani kuomba ipewe muda wafanye uchunguzi, ni kama wanachunguza gaidi ama mwizi aliyeiba, aliyeua, aliyefanya mambo sijui aina gani. na ili hali ni mtu tu ambaye katika kazi yake ya wanahabari anajaribu kuchunguza vitu ambavyo ni vya uhalifu katika hii Mombasa yetu. Kwa hivyo tunataka kusema hivi, na tunawaambia ndugu zetu wa vyombo vya habari, musitishike, musibabaike, endeleeni kutafuta ukweli, endeleeni kusimama na haki. Na sisi kama wanaharakati, kama mawakili na mashirika, tutasimama na vitengo vya habari kila siku ili ukweli na uwazi upate kujulikana.
Viva to media freedom, viva!
Viva! Viva media freedom, viva! Viva media freedom, viva!
Forward!
Viva journalists, viva!
Viva!
Viva journalists, viva!
Viva!
Forward with justice, forward!
Forward!
Forward with justice, forward!
Forward!
Justice for Mwita!
Justice for
Justice for Mwita!
Justice for
Justice for Mwita!
Justice for Mwita!
Muungano wa waandishi wa habari hapa Mombasa Press Club, na sisi kama waandishi wa habari ambao tunafanya kazi hapa Mombasa, leo hii tumeshtushwa na ambacho kimemtendea mwenzetu, na letu kubwa haswa ni kwa hivi vyombo vya usalama ama vyombo vya kufanya utafiti ama kufanya uchunguzi vimeomba muda kufanya kazi yao. Kwa hivyo sisi ni kuwaomba waharakishe uchunguzi wao ili tuhakikishe kuwa mwenzetu hazidi kuteseka na familia yake pia iteseke. Kwa hivyo ours is just to call on the investigation agencies, please make sure that you do your work properly and you investigate according to the time that you've been given and justice is served. Thank you so much.
Viva to media freedom, viva!
Viva!
Viva to media freedom, viva!
Viva!
Justice to Mwita! Justice!